Countdown. Ready? Here we go.
Can you turn that up a little bit?
It doesn't go louder.
All right, Elena.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Good Day NWI with Becky and Pete. Special guest tonight is Ted Pappas.
That's right.
And I am your announcer, Elena Basilikis. And stay tuned for the whole hour of great fun.
You better believe it. It's a lot of fun.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome back to Good Day NWI. I'm Pete Panos.
And I'm Becky Matea.
Nice to see you. How's Valentine's Day weekend? You guys have a good time?
Woo. You can talk. You're a live audience here.
Candy, that's boring. Why does everyone do candy and flowers? I don't get it. What's the point behind that?
I don't know. It's just to help remember.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. But I am smelling a lot of spices and onions and peppers and tzatziki sauce. So we've got that coming up. A little bit different today. It is February 16th. We're in the heart of the region.
Of Northwest Indiana at the Panos
Upstairs.
Studio doing a live cooking show today.
So make sure you're like snuggled in, you let the dogs out, you have your tea, and you're going to hang in there because we are cooking what today?
Gyros. Say it the right way. Don't say gyros.
Yeah.
Because that's how I know that's how a lot of people say it, right? That's ridiculous. But that's how you say it's called gyros,
And
right?
It smells fantastic.
Yeah, of course it does.
Fantastic. We usually start with food, fashion, weather, and traffic. So we're going to move the food down a little bit, but we just want to make sure that everybody is all set and ready to go. We've got a lot of different things. We bring this to you. So Vision Quest and Angels Honor Guard, and you're with
Kia and Cash for Charity.
And that's this labor of love on this weekend of Valentine's here in 2025. Time is just flying.
Too bad the weather was horrible this weekend and people probably couldn't go and do things like they should, right? Maybe today they did, but today was bad too. And the next 2 days is going to be what, -10? But that's okay.
That brings us to this little guy.
Groundhog's Day.
So if you watched the show, we were there at the South Shore Convention and Visitors Authority.
We were.
And so Pete, I did remind Pete what happened, but tell us what happened.
He saw his shadow, right?
He did.
Is that what happened?
And what does that mean?
And I saw this thing. I'm like, I didn't know what it was. I'm like, that's a rat, right? They said, no, that's a groundhog.
So it's South Shore Sally.
Yeah.
We had a costume and then we had a live one.
Yeah.
You see the shadow, that means it's an early spring, although you could not tell that by Northwest Indiana because we've got a lot of snow. Although it's been pretty nice.
But around here could be -20 today and be 80 tomorrow. You know how it goes around here.
I looked it up. We're steadily going to be getting warmer in February and March, the typical. Although I did see some higher temperatures, like maybe a 40 or a 50.
Oh.
And then we go back
Put our
down.
shirts on for that.
It's cold coming up this week, and then a little rise, and then so we're kind of on a roller coaster. February, March,
that's okay.
April, and then May we should be usually in the we're getting into the 70s. So that's summer in Northwest Indiana. I usually say it's like Good Day NWI, but we're kind of going into Indiana because we have people here from the region and into Illinois.
Yes,
so
quite a few
Chicagoland,
actually.
and then USA, because some of our stories today they're in the United States, but we'll relate them back to what's happening here.
We do.
So that's weather. How was the traffic?
Easy. There's nobody out today. I got around, no problem, nothing. It was
the snow's
not a big
cleared?
deal. Well, yeah, people are afraid to drive. There's an inch of snow and you think it's a blizzard and they stay home.
Well, you saw my driveway.
Because the newscasters have it wrong all the time.
So some people do, you have to be careful in your neighborhood, so you have to get that plowed. Our driveway is a little up and down. It's a little, dicey. And then sometimes, you get one blast and another blast comes. So you're driving and then the plow goes by and then all of a sudden you can't see.
Yeah.
Because you're an expert because you are into cars.
Correct.
Yeah. For us, we're not so familiar, so it's a little bit harder for us. So you have to be kind to us.
As long as you have good wiper blades, you have fluid in your car, you're good to go. You can see it, you can drive wherever you want.
That's sometimes a problem too.
Not a problem. That's if you forget.
So here's your reminder. Make sure before the season starts to put the fluid in.
Yep. And wiper blades. Make sure your battery's brand new. You have jumper cables in the glove box or in the back.
And the tire pressure.
Oh yeah.
Up.
Yeah.
Okay.
2 pounds higher than normal in order to maintain the cold weather, or your gauge comes on in your car and says tire pressure, and people freak out. They think they have a tire problem. It's not. That's all it is.
So we're going to go into fashion. Man, you're very spiffy today.
Just a blue suit. I saw a guy on Fox wearing this yesterday, and I'm like, that's a good idea. I'm going to steal that from him.
Well,
and I
where'd you go? To,
I didn't go anywhere. I was watching Fox Now last night.
Yeah, but where did you had this in your closet?
Yeah, I did.
Men's Warehouse?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have some malls around here, Maryville, Michigan City. I know you like Amazon, but I like to go in town. I actually got these somewhere in town. And the reason I'm doing this, if you guys watched the Grammys, do you remember? What's her name? Chappell She had a very cowboy look going on. I think she's a great little entertainer. So the other reason I wore these, because if I drop the gyro on my pants, I just wipe it right off.
Gotcha.
But I'm looking forward to that tzatziki sauce.
You got it.
You said it right too. That's good.
Right.
Yeah.
So cucumbers. I think that's what I like. That's why I like it, because they're so refreshing. So Ted's going to be on in about probably 5 minutes. So
Correct.
Just hang in there. We're going to just get through a little bit more. Anything else you want to mention about?
No, just we've been here. Last week we're at the convention center. It was a lot of fun. We talked about the groundhogs thing. It was a very interesting show. We had a lot of people watching. It was good. Now we're back here in the kitchen, which I never imagined we'd be here doing this, but it worked out great actually. We couldn't ask for a better chef to be here with us this week. We got lucky to have him. He drove here from Illinois, 45-minute hour drive, whatever it is, and so we're very fortunate for that.
We're going to have him come up, and we're going to name the city. So when we say Good Day in WI, we have 3 counties primarily, and those other 4, Stark, Jasper, Kosciuszko, and this other one that you can help me with. Anybody? They're kind of next to each other.
It's Northwest Indiana, whatever you want to call it, right? Yeah, everybody knows what it is.
Newton, Jasper. Okay.
Yeah.
So when we do the 3 counties up here along I-94, we start in Whiting.
Yeah, Whiting, Hammond.
East Chicago.
Munster, Highland.
What about you guys?
And then Griffith.
Cherville, Dyer.
Right.
Crown Point.
Right.
St. John.
Okay.
Love it.
And then we go towards like Hobart.
Crown Point. No. Cedar Lake.
Cedar
right?
Lake. Yeah. Griffith we mentioned in there.
DeMont, Hobart. Right. All those places.
Now we go over to Porter County. So we got Chesterton, Burns Harbor, Lake Station, Valpo.
Yeah. We forget about
Portage.
some of those sometimes, right?
They're supposed to be on. That's
Michigan
LaPorte
City.
County. So
people like Michigan City because they go shopping there, right? For the mall. Absolutely, yeah.
LaPorte. So I was in LaPorte last night because later on I'm going to talk about sports. Girls basketball sectionals are in full swing and they're amazing. If you check, I also post on mine. So we've got cameras going. Becky Mateas, we have Good Day in WI, we have Pete Panos, we have video for YouTube and beyond. So anybody in the audience, you can do a live. So we've got, what are these? Name some of these off, Pete.
Are you kidding? I can't see anything.
go,
Even with
let's
glasses on. Are you kidding me? Oh, yeah. We're on Facebook, obviously, YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, Tubi, and Spotify.
Yeah, so we're podcasts, we're on
Yeah.
TV.
Yeah.
And so what we're going to ask you here for this content, because this is a labor of love, is to give us stars on Facebook, to zealous for the what is that called?
So we can donate your money to a charity. That's what we need it for. We don't keep it. We don't need it. So it goes to charity every
Sometimes
single
with
time.
production.
It
and
does.
then we also can Zoom, get you to Zoom in, and then you can just donate here. And we do give to charities, so
We do.
cash and angels. Plus, we have pets on. They've given to pets before.
Yeah.
We had another neighbor of yours on for a shelter.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
And
the
I
women's
did-
shelter.
And I did want to mention, I was talking to our congressman on the way here, Frank Mervan, invited him to come over because he's quite close to the show. So I want to give a wave, and we're going to talk about that later on too, to get involved in your communities. So now I think we're ready to get cooking.
So I'm going to introduce Ted Pappas, as seen on Channel 7, PBS, WTTW, and the show called The Great American Recipe on Season 2. So he's with us here today to show you how to make gyros.
And he's coming in the middle.
Right, he's ready to go here, right? We're all ready for him.
Thanks for having me, guys.
I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much for coming out.
Yeah, we're gonna look at how we're gonna make some great Greek food at home. Okay, my Instagram, Ted's Everyday Eats, is all about everyday eating, things you can make at home. We got all the fancy stuff we love, but we want to make some stuff at home. And Greek food is one of those dishes that a lot of times people don't make it at home because they get maybe a little intimidated by it.
By the Greeks?
By the Greeks.
Oh,
Tell me about it,
yeah.
right?
Could you imagine that? So, when we look at, everybody makes Italian food at
They
home,
do.
Yeah.
right?
Well, it's
a
kind
lot
of
of people do.
easy.
They feel
What about the Polish?
a little bit.
Little pierogies making a little bit of
Pierogies
a...
right around the holidays, certain things. So what we're gonna make today is we're gonna make gyro at home.
Okay.
With homemade tzatziki.
Awesome.
So this is gonna be great. So this is something that
Homemade gyros. I want to see this.
and
I've never
homemade
seen that
If
before.
any of you want to come up and get a bird's eye view, you're welcome to come
Absolutely.
on
And so this is going to be one of the, I always tell people, this is one of those things. If you can make a meatloaf, you can make this.
up. Really?
It's that simple.
So how do you make gyro? What's
here's-
in the ingredients? How
So
do you
here's
do
what
this?
we're going to do. So we're going to do, for this recipe, we're going to do a 50-50 mix of ground lamb and ground beef.
Okay.
So we're going to use a 73-27. So it's a little fattier ground beef that we're going to use. And we like that. Now, if you don't like the ground lamb taste, you can go more ground beef. You can do 70-30, 70% ground beef. You can mix it up. You can do all ground beef if you don't like the ground lamb.
Okay.
But what we're going to do is...
Do like lamb, but I think it's a little pricier, right?
You know, it's not bad. When you
Really?
look at it. It's actually not as bad as you think.
So you said you purvey this from different stores. We're trying to we're still looking for that big sponsor, but Mariano's popped up in a conversation. I
Mariano's?
would love to get them this way. Do you shop
I
there?
do shop at Mariano's. Absolutely.
So what
You
is that
do?
that you're
Yeah.
gonna put in there?
So
Mariano's.
here's what we're going to mix in first. So we're going to
Okay.
mix in some beef base and chicken base. So this is going to add some great flavor to what we have. We're going to mix this in first before we get to all of the dry spices.
Okay.
And we're just going to put this in here.
A lot of spices.
We've got a lot of spices.
Because you want to
here.
have spices
This
sometime
is gonna
coming up
be-
in your future,
this is
right?
oh, absolutely. So
Maybe
we're looking
that's-
at maybe doing some spice blends that
Okay.
we would love to sell, because a lot of people don't necessarily have all of these spices in their house that they use all the time. So we're going to mix this up completely nice and great.
And
right?
people can reach out to you on your Insta, right?
They can reach out to me on my Instagram at Ted's Everyday Eats. They can
Okay.
go to my
Awesome.
my YouTube channel at Ted's Everyday
Ooh,
Eats
YouTube's
and
the
check
thing.
me out.
YouTube's the thing.
Or go
Come
to
over.
Channel 7 and watch his show.
Yeah.
He was on Channel 7, correct? And PBS WTTW.
You can go on
Right?
PBS
Absolutely.
and stream season 2 of the Great American Recipe. See all the great Greek dishes that I made. So now that we're gonna mix this fully, now we're gonna get to all these dry ingredients. So
Okay.
we've got a lot of spices here. So
'Cause
we've
we're
got
spicy.
This is so
What is this?
So we've got some ground onion,
Onion.
Okay.
right? We've got garlic powder.
Okay.
Garlic
We've
powder.
got Greek oregano.
Oh, you had to have
Ooh.
Got a Greek
So
oregano.
what's
Absolutely.
the difference between Greek oregano and regular
It's
oregano?
much better.
It's Greek. What are you talking about? What do you mean, what's the difference?
This.
We've got cumin. We've got cloves.
Oh, I know.
So there's a lot in here, right?
Wow.
Okay.
And then salt and pepper. So we're gonna mix this fully up,
They're a group too, aren't
right? Salt and pepper. Yeah, I think for some generations.
they? They popped up.
That's
I was
right.
watching Saturday Night Live last night. They popped up on there.
Did they really?
Mm-hmm.
What popped up on there? Salt and
Salt
pepper?
and pepper.
It's
So
boring.
that's this weekend too. It's like
Everybody
the
has
50th
that.
anniversary. That's the group.
The group.
So I'm thinking. I was wondering why you seem so buff. Is it because you're always like needy?
You're always You're always
Look at
working in
this.
the
Look at this
kitchen.
physique.
You're always working in the kitchen. So we're gonna mix this up and get this all nice and evenly spread in.
But
right?
we have magic tonight, though,
But
don't we?
what we're going to do now, because what we're going to do, and here's how you're going to prepare it. So we're going to get any sort of baking dish. So
Okay.
whether this is
I'll hold
a cake
this.
pan or whether this is you're going to make some brownies in this, and you're just going to spread this out.
Okay.
We're going to spread this all out, and we're going to put this in the oven, make it nice and even. We're going to put this in the oven at 325
And we're
for about 30 to 40 minutes, depending on what it is.
And
so
then-
we've got one that we've already prepared, so we're going to put this in the oven. But we're going to pull another one out. And what we've done, when that comes out,
Ooh.
is we've actually let this cool and put this in the fridge.
okay.
And the reason we did that is we want it to firm up.
Okay.
All right, so while this is in the oven cooking, we're going to make the tzatziki.
Yes.
We're going to get ready to make that. So we're good with this.
All right. Let's see how
Now,
we
did
do
you use
that.
the olive oil
We're
already?
gonna put, not yet. We're going to
Okay.
use it now with the tzatziki.
And what this is like a staple in from Greece because
This
isn't
is.
it isn't it
Absolutely.
the home of the olive?
It is.
It's actually one of my favorite
It
foods.
is. And when you look at an olive oil, you really want to look at a cold pressed, single source olive oil. If you look, you hear all these things about olive oil, right?
Mm-hmm.
But a single source cold press is antioxidants in there. It's what everybody needs, and that's
Interesting.
why Greek extra virgin olive oil, like this is my friend Kefi Life. It's such a great olive oil for everything that you're doing. You want a higher quality oil when you're using it for something like tzatziki. You're not cooking with
Okay.
it. You're giving it a drizzle for what you need.
Somebody told me that they take a teaspoon a day just to help with their
Oh,
excretory
that's
system.
That's the old Greek.
That's
the old Greek
good.
way.
Okay.
Absolutely. All right, so we're
Ooh.
going to get everything we need for our tzatziki here. Now,
Garlic,
this is
correct?
gonna be the base of this.
Right? It smells good, doesn't
Greek
it?
yogurt
Oh,
and cucumber is what we've got here.
Okay.
All right, that's going to be the base of everything that we have. So let's take a look at this.
It smells.
It smells good, doesn't it?
This?
Yeah.
Too bad you can't smell it, but that's okay.
It smells
I love my
great.
garlic.
It does,
too.
it does.
Okay,
Oh,
so
you can smell it, yeah.
what we're going to do is we are going to put some full-fat Greek yogurt. Don't use the low-fat stuff. It's
Full
no
fat.
good.
No good.
It's not.
Okay.
So I use the 2%. Even get up to using the 5%.
Okay.
Which I really like. It's just so much more flavor than the non-fat Greek yogurt that you're going to have. Okay, so we're going to use that.
And you can use this sauce on other things besides gyros.
You can use it on so much. It's a great dip.
Yeah, whatever you want.
You can use
Yeah.
just dip it with pita. You can.
I was
go
wondering,
ahead.
did you bring pita tonight?
We've got pitas for the gyro, so you can use it with that.
Where do you get a great pita? Because that really makes the gyro special.
So these I got from a grocer in Chicagoland area. So it's a little bit of a drive. Brookhaven Market, Greeks
You do
owned.
have to have that.
Greeks owned, so you know that they've got the good.
So they
pitas.
make those.
They don't make them, but they've
No,
got,
they buy 'em.
they've got, but they buy them. But they've
Okay.
got.
Have
they've
you
got
ever
great
made a pita?
burgers. I've never made homemade pitas
Because
on my own.
they're probably
I've
a
never
little
made
tough.
homemade pitas. So here we go. We've got our Greek yogurt, and now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some cheesecloth, and we're gonna grate cucumber on top of that cheesecloth. And the reason that we're gonna do that is we are going to strain out all of the liquid,
Good
all the
idea.
water that's in this cucumber. All right. Now, when we get down to this, in this cucumber, there is a lot of liquid in here.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a lot in here. And a typical cucumber, we're using an English cucumber, seedless.
skinny seedless,
We don't
I like
want
those. Mm-hmm.
we don't want the seeds in here, right? For what this is. And the reason for that is because in a typical cucumber, an English cucumber, you've got about a half a cup of liquid in there. So this is not.
Oh, wow,
there's
I
a
had no
little-
idea.
There's just a
I didn't
little
know
bit of
that.
it. Now, if you really want, drain this into a separate bowl, a clean bowl. Use this cucumber water in the summer with a little vodka. It's a little.
Well, here we go.
Put some great
Bring it
goose in
over.
there,
Add a
right?
splash of lemonade.
We'll save this for the halftime.
We've got some. I'll get it for you.
Add a splash of lemonade, and it's a great, great summer drink.
Oh, wow.
With the fresh squeeze. with
So
the
you
fresh
learned all
squeeze.
this from your family because by day you're an architect and by night you're like the Batman of Greek food.
That's right. That's right. So restaurants in my family and my heritage, of course, Greeks. Everybody knows somebody with a restaurant, right?
If you're Greek, you're in a
Well, we're hoping
restaurant.
to talk you into it.
Everybody
Exactly.
knows somebody
Our
with a
family too.
restaurant,
Everybody
right?
is, right.
So having all of that in my family and just the hospitality of Greeks, right? You like to take care of everybody.
Yes, yeah.
With all my friends at our Bears tailgates, who does all the cooking? Me.
Yay.
Right? You know, you take care of everybody.
Yeah.
And this is one of those dishes that this was my mom's tzatziki recipe, and it was a great, loved it. And this is you had it as a kid. It was always around. There's always some of it in the fridge, right? Whether you had some pork souvlaki, some pork shish kebab, and you dipped it in there. Whether you had gyro, whatever it was, that's what you did with it. So we've
Okay.
got the yogurt, we've got the strained cucumber. We're gonna add in some freshly chopped dill.
That's my favorite.
And
Okay.
fresh dill. I mean, smell that dill, right? Fresh dill. We're gonna mix it up a little bit, right? Let's
Do you
get
have
some
a garden?
aromatics. I do not have a big garden. I grew up. My dad.
This
we always
doesn't
had a
take
garden.
space, though. You
It
have, like, a
doesn't.
little-
I've got an herb garden, so which is perfect.
Perfect.
Dill and
What's this?
fresh mint.
Ooh.
Okay, so
I like mint.
The mint.
Actually, we put
Right,
we
smell
put
the
that in
mint.
cars
Oh,
to get the
smells
odor
good.
out of.
Right.
Show
The
me
mint. Smell the
how
mint.
nice that is.
Yeah,
Right?
I like it.
Okay. The
Very
mint.
good.
And we're gonna put garlic in. Okay. Now, garlic is interesting.
Yes.
Because you can get a little bit of flavor or a lot of flavor out of garlic in how you prepare it, right? You can smash it. If you're putting it maybe in some olive oil with something, you just want some aromatics. You don't want it really pungent. You
Okay.
can mince it, have it a little stronger. You can put it through a garlic press, a little bit stronger, or you can use a microplane and get the most flavor out of it. It's going to be the strongest. And when you're talking about tzatziki, if you don't have garlic on your breath when you're done with it, then you didn't make it right.
So saying that, I didn't know it, and I did something. I made hummus with that. And
With
it was
garlic?
so strong I couldn't eat it because I did this.
Because you did that.
So I typically use garlic salt Lowry's because this gives me a little bit of fire in my stomach that I can't handle anymore.
From the garlic?
And even vinegar. Yeah, I'm having, as you body changes and get older, things,
Yep. And then we're going to add in a little salt and pepper, and then a drizzle of olive oil.
Nice.
Right? Because we definitely want a little bit of olive oil. You can always put, if you're serving up this as a dip, you can always put it on later. Just drizzle it on top a little bit.
This is reminding me of the masks that my kids on. And my mom used to put cucumber on, right? Weren't they like those little things? Yeah.
So
Like this?
No, not the
not
dish.
like that.
Just like the things, And she had like a little cold cream, and she would put it in.
It smells so good.
So
Wow.
now we've got our tzatziki made. We're going to put that off to the side. You can put it in the fridge. This will last 3 to 4 days if it lasts in your fridge, if people don't eat it before it's gone, right? Because if you're like me in my house, it goes pretty quick.
Well,
So now we've got prepare our gyro, okay?
okay.
Right, so let's get going with this.
So
Now,
that's half lamb and half beef, correct?
so this one
Gotcha.
is 50-50 lamb and beef. So 50% lamb, 50% beef. All right, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna get this started up. All right, so we're gonna get this started. So we've got this, and if you see in there, what's that? It's
The
all
fat that emulsified.
We're gonna use that
Oh,
to grease the pan.
Okay.
And we're gonna get a little flavor out of it.
another
okay?
old school.
Another old school, right?
Yeah.
We're not gonna waste that. So
I think they made soap out of it too.
I'm sure they did.
I remember my grandparents saving
Maybe
it.
maybe the Polish did, but not the Greek.
Well, yeah, my grandma Matea.
So we're gonna take this out of here, and we're gonna slice it up. Now, when you take it out and you put it in the fridge, let it cool off before it goes into the fridge. When it comes out, it's really firm. Okay? So it's really firm. So what's great is you can get in here and you can slice this up nice and thin.
Then
And now remember, this is fully cooked. You've cooked this in the oven.
smells amazing.
So this was in the oven, 325, so it's low.
For what, 45 minutes? How
For
long?
about half an hour to 40 minutes.
Okay.
Right? And so you want to cook it to about 160 degrees. So if you want to use a probe thermometer. And for the,
Ted Pappas again, everybody.
For the
I just
home
heard
cooks?
somebody asking.
yes, Ted Pappas. And for the home cooks, right, the home cooks, you worry about undercooking, right? One of the things I learned on the Great American Recipe and talking with celebrity chefs and chefs who know their stuff is, home cooks, one of the biggest fears is undercooking. I don't want under. So what do? You overcook it, and what does it do? It gets dried out, right? Remember a couple things. One is you can always add to it, right? You can always cook it a little bit longer. But with this, what's great is even if it's just a hair under, we're still heating it up. We're cooking it just a little bit more,
Got it.
right? Because we want to get that crust. So now we've got this sliced up. We've got this pan getting a little hot. We're going to add in.
Do you need a spoon?
Let's see. No,
Can
we
you?
got this.
Okay.
Oh, perfect.
Wow. Well, because
Okay.
you're a chef, you can do that. I can't do
heated
that.
up just right.
All
So
right.
now what we're going to do is we're just going to add these in. And there's, of course, going to be some fat on here as well that's going to render off. And we're just going to crisp these up. And these will take just a couple minutes, just about a minute or so on each side in your house. Right? It might take a little bit longer here. This big, I got the big cast iron because I wanted to get
Which,
some heat.
people rave about this, and we don't all use that. It's a little
don't.
heavy for me, but they are very
Yes,
nice
it can be.
utensils.
Absolutely. So we're just going to let those sizzle up. While those
Okay.
do, I'm going to get some prepared
All right.
already.
There's the magic. Do you need, here, right here, babe. Or on here?
All right, so we're going to get a little bit out that's prepared.
Mm-hmm.
We've got some gyro meat that's already prepared.
That's really good.
All right, so we
Wow.
got some gyro and we got some pita that are already nice and
There's the
warm.
pita you're looking for. There's the pita
Oh,
you're
it
looking
looks
for.
good.
I love my pita.
And the one thing we didn't put in the tzatziki, a little bit of lemon juice. Okay. And we want to put about a half a lemon when we make this.
Okay.
All right. So what we're going to do is we're just going to flip these once when they're just about done. And you see we get a little bit of extra color and a
Very
little and a little
nice.
crust on there. So we see we get a little bit of crust. And guess what? You can make this at home. You don't need to have one of those big gyro cones
Yeah,
that you
right.
see in the restaurants.
Yeah.
And what you'll notice, especially for our live studio audience today,
Yeah.
right, is the flavor is going to be there. And personally, I think this is better than any other gyro that I've had out from so many different places. So what we're going to do now is we're going to prepare these.
Okay.
All right, so let's get these prepared. So we'll slide it over there. We're going to leave this here. We're going to turn this off because these are just about done. And so here's what we're going to do.
Okay.
And I've got a little surprise at the end for what you may like with this.
Ooh.
So let's get a few of our toppings. And I think that's
I love
everything.
the tomatoes.
All right, so a couple things.
Okay.
Let's get our pita first, right?
Yes.
And George, you can hand me one of those spoons. The big.
Are we all good
that,
on all
yep.
the cameras still? Yeah. Okay. You
All
okay
right.
with this?
So we're gonna put our tzatziki on. If you're like me, I like a big dollop.
So that
Yeah.
goes first.
That's gonna go first because that's gonna be your base for everything. Okay.
It's
That's
nice
gonna
and
be your base.
sticky.
I like onion.
Okay.
And a little tip with red onion, after you slice it, and we went pretty thin with the red onion. After you slice it, put it in ice cold water. It will leach out all of kind of that really, the really kind of sharp flavor that
Yeah.
you get with red onion.
Good idea.
It makes it a little more palatable,
Okay.
right? So this is off here. We're gonna take, this is gonna be a hot one. We're gonna put that gyro on. We're gonna add a little fresh Roma tomato, which I like because you can slice it
I
up
like
and,
Roma.
and kind of fit it in there.
If they're
You know,
firmer.
a little bit. That's right.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. We can fit that in there. We're gonna add a little parsley
This. Oh,
for a
parsley.
little color.
We say patrushka
Right?
in.
A little parsley for a little color. And we're gonna put a dash of cayenne.
Is this that's the
This
secret?
is the cayenne pepper. So dash of cayenne.
Oh, spicy.
Just a little bit.
Really?
It's not
Okay.
a lot,
Okay.
but it's just enough. And then we get all of that popping
Boom,
out
there
through
it
here.
is.
We're gonna wrap it just like you would get in a restaurant. And just like that.
Nice.
And look at that.
And there you
Look
go,
at that.
right in the Midwest, right in
Right-
Northwest
right- you
Indiana
can
with
make it-
Ted and Becky
You
and
can
Pete.
make it anywhere.
There you go.
That's
Look
amazing.
at that.
Yay!
Thank you, thank you. What's great about this is you can make this in advance. You could make the gyro, bake it the day before.
Like on the weekends, all the cooking.
Like on a, maybe on a Friday or maybe you get a party and you got some people coming over, you want to make it. You can sear it all up, put it in the pan, put it in the oven,
Mm-hmm.
just keep it on warm, and just assemble them. Or what I like to do, is make a gyro bar. You let everybody kind of make their own if they
very
want.
nice.
So maybe they don't want the onion, or maybe they don't like the tomato, but you got to have the tzatziki on there.
Yeah, for sure.
You got to have
Yeah,
the tzatziki.
yeah, yeah.
So thank you all for joining us. We're going to move down to the lower level and continue on with the show. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, just go ahead and
And
message
everyone
us.
can watch you on Instagram, correct?
They can go to my Instagram at Ted's Everyday Eats.
And we
Woohoo!
expect you to go there and watch it. We're going to ask you next week.
All right, so hang in
All
there,
right.
Becky and Pete. Good day, NWI. Take a little break, and we'll see you in a few minutes and for the rest of the 30-minute show.
All right.
Thanks. Thank you very much.
Good.
Yeah, make sure you leave us some of those.
It does smell
I brought for everybody. So, I assume everyone wants one. Oh yeah. Okay. Good.
I'm going to eat after.
I didn't think it would look like it looks like
It looks like
The legs
so
down.
you
I
get,
get it.
like,
It's
so
amazing.
usually like that pan, like I'll take it out.
Have you
and
ever
set
made
it
them
on
like
there.
that, Ari?
Put it-
Have you ever